But at the end of the day, we should take responsibility for the things we say.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another podcast edition of The Final Takeaway. Here's what we have for you today. Remember Jennifer Ali? Child. The woman is back again in the headlines and not necessarily for good reasons. In fact, one could say her publicity stunt backfired, which, by the way, was facilitated by none other than the Guyana Ethnic Relations Commission, the ERC. I mean, what else could this pre-recorded apology be? You'll hear the apology in a few, so stick around. By the way, if this is your first time, we're happy you joined us today. Now get comfortable and let's dive right in. Also, stay on the podcast to hear the apology and my critical analysis of this so-called apology that lasted less than 30 seconds? If that much.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
So yesterday, social media lit up with a barrage of criticisms of Jennifer Ali's video recorded wishy-washy half-assed apology for the vile, defamatory and derogatory comments she made about 11-year-old Adriana Younge after the girl was discovered deceased in the swimming pool at the Doubleday Hotel at Tucson in Guyana. If you've been following Guyana news in the last couple of months, you must have heard about the Adriana Younge story. And you will remember that was a tragic and painful loss for Adriana's parents and her relatives. Well, it wasn't tragic for Miss Ali. Instead of sympathizing and empathizing, as many people do, to give reverence and respect to the dead, she used her social media platform to publish what the ERC defined as, quote, hateful, offensive, reprehensible, and vile Facebook comments about the young girl and her family members. The comments don't bear repeating, but how else will you get the full essence of this story? And hey, hang tight. I know you love a good backstory and I'm going to give it to you. Don't worry, I'm going to run the clip of the apology. All you need is less than 1 minute, actually less than 30 seconds. For now, let's take a look at one of her comments where she called Adriana a thing. As you can see here on this screenshot of one of her comments, it says, breaking news, the funeral for the drowned thing is on September 1st. Then she says, Bojinarine Bola needs to sue the family for damages, defamation of character, and trauma. Of course, she's speaking about Adriana Younge's family, saying that Bojinarine Bola needs to sue the family, I guess for seeing him as a suspect or saying that they believe he was behind the girl's demise. Bola is the owner of the hotel where Adriana mysteriously lost her life. He was a suspect or person of interest in the girl's disappearance and subsequent death, but nothing came out of that.
I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough.
Some of you may have seen Ali's repulsive comments live on her profile or watched my previous video on this story, where I highlighted a few of the comments other than these while addressing her cyberbullying conduct. However, in that video, we compared the ERC's handling of singer Baby Skello's alleged blasphemous song lyrics case versus Jennifer's nasty Facebook posts about Adriana as she defended Bojinarine Bola. For whatever reasons, maybe they're related, maybe she just took an interest to the case and took a side. Maybe she just didn't have anything else to do with her life than to target this family and make such vile, hateful, reprehensible comments, to quote the ERC. But let's get to the ERC. We have to put them on blast. The ERC basically gave her a slap on the wrist, as they say, by issuing a statement condemning her post as vile and hateful. As you can see on the screen in this press statement by the ERC, the organization says it strongly condemns the comments. Then it says it is appalled that during a time of mourning, such vile and hateful expressions were publicly shared, further inflicting pain on a family already burdened by tragic loss. These actions violate the basic standards of decency and mutual respect that are essential to maintaining harmony in our multi-ethnic society. The organization also says it officially opened a formal case into this matter and intends to engage Miss Jennifer Ali. She is being requested to report to the commission to address the content and intent of her remarks. Okay, what could the intent of her remarks be? It is clear as day. It is clear as day. She had one intent, and that was to do ultimate damage to the emotions of this family while they were in deep mourning. Let's run the clip.
I hope this message finds you well. To whomever my Facebook comments and posts have offended, I apologize. The intent was never there. We all have different viewpoints. We all decipher messages differently. But at the end of the day, we should take responsibility for the things we see. And this is me taking mine.
I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness.
Yep, that's her apology for saying some really disgusting and diabolical things about an innocent child. And just so we're clear on this matter, I don't know Jennifer Ali, so this isn't about attacking her as a person or defending Baby Skello because of the way the ERC dealt with his case. I don't know Baby Skello either. But if you see the same organization dealing with different people in different ways, different strokes for different folks, then that's an eye-opener and you have to ask questions. What really is going on? Is there impartiality? So basically what I'm saying is I have no dog in this fight. As they say, nothing to gain, nothing to lose. We're here for us to attack the issue, not the person. You, of course, can feel free to let's continue the conversation in the comment section. While there are those who may be happy she apologized and says, well, she apologized, so suck it up. Here is my critical analysis of this apology. In my opinion, this apology was seemingly orchestrated by the Ethnic Relations Commission. So that may explain why it feels forced. You can tell that Jennifer is uncomfortable with the statements she's reading, obviously reading from a script or a monitor. And she doesn't appear to feel comfortable with what she has to say. So maybe it was not written by her. Maybe the script was pre-written by the ERC. And she was forced to make this pre-recorded public apology. Maybe in exchange for the ERC not to bring an action against her other than having her apologize. And what now? Case closed? Okay. So the other thing about this apology, in my opinion, is that it is vague and insincere at its core. She doesn't name names, so we have zero idea who she's apologizing to and for what. Notice that she also takes on a third person plural position, meaning instead of speaking of herself in the first person, she says we. Who is we? Quote, we should take responsibility for the things we say. Who's we? Who the hell is we? Who's we? Who is we? She's one person last time I checked, and she was the person and the only person who published the statements on her own, her very own Facebook profile under her name, Jennifer Ali. So, hello, Jennifer Ali and Jennifer Ali alone is solely responsible for her statements, which she made recklessly and intentionally, in my opinion, without regard for the feelings of Adriana or her family members, without regard for basic human respect and dignity. And no, you don't have to know someone to be kind and caring and empathetic towards the person, and in this case towards the deceased child and her family. These are human beings. As I said, I'm really hesitant to repeat or reshare any more of the vile, hateful comments, but I will so that you can get a full grasp of why the public is not taking kindly to the half-assed apology she pre-recorded on request of the ERC and which was later published by the Ethnic Relations Commission. Meanwhile, when it comes to Baby Skello, I don't know if you remember the Baby Skello story. The ERC was accused of spearheading the arrest and subsequent jailing of Baby Skello for his distasteful song lyrics about the Hindu goddess Mahalakshmi. Getting back to the comments by Jennifer, and this is the last one, besides the ones where she accused Adriana's grandmother of being a stripper and being responsible for the girl's death. I mean, where does she get these things from? So in this final comment, which I'll read today, she wrote, "I said drowned thing because I don't know what it identifies as, but then again, it doesn't have a say." Wow. Whew. So in this case, instead of retracting her previous comment, apologizing, showing remorse, taking it down from Facebook, she doubles down and repeats it by calling the girl a drowned thing again. Who speaks of the dead in that manner, let alone an innocent deceased child? And give me your best guess on how the Ethnic Relations Commission, which says it has a mandate to protect Guyanese against cyberbullying and to promote harmony among all ethnicity. Guess how they dealt with the matter? They asked her to report to their office for a meeting, I guess on her own schedule, because the statement didn't say you must show up at this particular date or time. And this was a few months ago. Now we're getting an half-assed apology. Now they have the audacity to have Ali share this apology with the public. 30 seconds of nothing. To me, this only adds to the fury of the family members over Ali's disrespect. She might have been better off not saying anything. This apology is like reopening fresh wounds. This is like poking the ant nest. She might have been better off just being quiet and not even doing this. But again, it might be that she had an arrangement or an agreement with the ERC to do this apology in exchange for them to lay off her case. Now you can understand why this video enraged a lot of people on social media. And of course, they did not hesitate to provide feedback, and not the positive kind. Some of the statements are actually too vile and hateful for me to repeat here. In summary, many commenters saw this so-called apology for what it was. One that lacks accountability from someone that clearly lacks emotional empathy and remorse. I don't know, she strikes me as someone with narcissistic or sociopathic tendencies. And no, I'm not psychoanalyzing her or diagnosing her, but I've dealt with enough narcissists and sociopaths to know the signs. I can't wait to hear your take on this. I do read all of your comments, so keep it real and respectful, and I will try to respond back to you, okay? Anywho, check out the other videos on our playlist or stay tuned for what's coming up next. I've got a skedaddle out of here, so see you later.